Today I will be showing you how to create a protective, elegant updo on short, low density, type 4 natural hair. I'll give you all the details, tips and tricks, and hopefully inspire those who may have this hair type and texture. First, I'll be doing scalp care with my shea butter with almond oil to make sure that she has a great start. After you apply the shea butter to the scalp, make sure you rub it in well and repeat that step through all 4 sections of the hair. Next, I'm going to go ahead and apply my Indigo Naturals leave-in conditioner. What this does is help make the whole process easier. You want to make sure when you're dealing with a finer texture hair that it has a lot of moisture and it's easy to detangle, because the strands are literally, the circumference of the strands is smaller than average or thicker textured hair. So you want to be very careful when you're manipulating this hair, and the best way to do it is make sure it has moisture and it's easy to detangle. So after I go ahead and do scalp care, this is why I'm applying my leave-in. Next, I'm going to apply this Softy Signature Thickening Revitalizing Repair Formula Oil, and I'm just going to apply that to her hair to seal in and add more moisture after the leave-in spray, because I've already done scalp care, so I don't necessarily need to apply this oil to her scalp, but I will around her edges and the nape of her hair. Go ahead and comb through the hair to detangle it, because we do want this style to be smooth and stretched out as much as possible. Use a wide tooth comb though, and don't over comb it. So after you've done that, complete that to all 4 sections. Here we are at the top. What we're going to go ahead and do is part off almost like a U part. We're going to part it kind of wide because we want to make sure that in this style her front hairline is kind of thinning a little bit in the corners. So we want to make sure that we cover that so she doesn't have any concern when it comes to everyday wear with this style. So now you can see it's a pretty wide part section that's parted off at the top. Next, of course, you know I'm all about those clean parts, and that's really what enhances and completes a natural hairstyle. So make sure your parts are clean. I don't really know which side I'm going to do it on, so after I go ahead and crochet, then I'll see what side is going to enhance this look better. Next, what we're going to do is do almost what I call a horizontal French roll. So we're going to take some of the hair that I'm going to use to crochet in and use that as a stuffing. I'm just going to go ahead and use some of my ORS olive oil smooth and whole pudding, and I'm going to apply that all around her hair to start shaping it into place. Go ahead and brush that in to make sure the style is going to be really smooth. And what you're going to do is go ahead and seal all that moisture from our ORS smooth and whole pudding with the shea butter. I love this stuff. If y'all don't know, you should know by now. I'm all about sealing and butters because it really helps give moisture and shine to type 4 natural hair. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and apply some to the bottom areas too, because we really want the style to be smooth and moisturized, because it is going to be a protective style. So go ahead and secure the shape of the hair in place. By that I mean go ahead and put pins along the parts so that your hair is secure when I go to put the stuffing in the hair. I am using flat bobby pins for this process. What we're going to do is, like I said, we're going to do a horizontal French roll. So go ahead and start rolling the hair from the edges almost to create like a twist, a flat twist, and that is going to roll right over the stuffing that I'm going to put in the back. So literally you're going to roll and tuck, roll and tuck, roll and tuck, and make sure all the hair is smoothly covering that stuffing there. And a little bit of, if there's like a little bit of something showing, like the stuffing showing, that's why you want to kind of get close to when you're dealing with lower density hair. You want to make sure that when you're using the hair, whether it be to crochet, whether it be to sew in, however you're using it, make sure it matches your client's color as close as possible, because at any rate that the hair is going to show or it gets kind of spacey or thin, You don't want some other color showing through your natural hair. So make sure you get a color that matches your client's hair as best as possible. Again, I'm just smoothing the hair up over the stuffing. Another tip I want to add is when you're dealing with a lower density or finer textured hair, you want to make sure that you don't try to create a style that's too much for what you're working with, because then you can cause breakage and you could give a really off-putting look. So the stuffing that I have in this horizontal French roll is just the right size for a lower density hair. It's not too big, it's not too small, and it's going to create an elegant look for her head shape and for her hair type and density. So I'm just cleaning up the part right here where it looked a little bit crooked. Again, I'm just rolling over the hair. You want to be very careful, like I said, when manipulating fine hair, because you don't want to increase any way for, you don't want to make any way for possible breakage. So just tuck and roll as smoothly as possible and go ahead and apply pins where you need them. Okay, now I know you noticed there's a wide section that's showing from her top section that we parted off all the way to the French roll, but we are going to get to that at the end of the video. Just keep watching. This is my twist pattern I'm going to use to crochet hair down in the front. Again, you can see the spaciness. I mean, you don't want to emphasize that to a client. You don't ever want to lower their confidence. You don't want to ever put more negative focus on the problem areas we may call. You just always want to encourage them, uplift them, and say, do encourage them and point out things that are good that are going with their hair. Tell them, that their hair is gaining length. Don't worry about the thinness. Address those things properly, but don't emphasize on them, because you don't ever want someone walking away feeling having a lower confidence or a lower self-esteem by the state of their hair. Everybody's in a different position, so work with it. Okay, here on the side, I'm going to do a knotless crochet install. So again, you can find styles, tips, and tricks when it comes to type 4 natural hair on our Facebook and Instagram pages. So what I'm going to do is this last section to the side. What I did decide is to flip all the hair over to the right. So what I did is I'm going to take that last twist that I'm on and just do a knotless crochet with thinner pieces of hair that I've separated from the pack of hair that I have. And if I didn't mention, it's equal Cuban twist, and it's a 12-inch hair. But I'll put all the products and the hair that I use in the description below. So I'm going to follow that knotless crochet method all the way up to the front of her hairline, but I'm not going to go too close to the front of her hairline, because you don't want to see like edges and all of a sudden it's a thick piece of hair right there. Just kind of stop a little farther back, and you can blend it in before we're finished completing the style. Be very careful also when you're going to put the crochet hook or anything you're doing with this client's hair, because you want to constantly communicate and make sure they're comfortable, make sure you're not hurting them, because what you're used to doing on your hair, or someone has different texture hair, it may be uncomfortable to them because of the density of their hair. And they're more conscious to make sure that you're not doing anything that could break their hair or cause more damage. So just communicate and ask them, how are you feeling now? Is it uncomfortable? Does it hurt? And just keep communicating with them. Here I am combing out the hair, because in order to create a twist out wavy look, you want to make sure that your hair that you've installed is combed out really well, and that's going to help you separate the twist. Right here, what I'm going to do is take a few sections from the back and do some single 2-strand twists, and I'm just going to layer those on top of each other right above the horizontal French roll, and that's going to cover that space that's back there from the part from her horizontal French roll all the way up to the hair that we have in the front. So it's going to look blended. The client doesn't have to be concerned about, is there a lot of space showing in my hair? No, it's going to add an elegant, definitely unique touch, and it's all going to be blended at the end. So here I'm just pinning that down, and I'm going to create more twists and stack them on top of each other and pin them as I go, but I'll show you all of that at the end. Here I have twisted all of the crochet hair that I did, and I've already dipped it in hot water. They're actually kind of wide sections. They're not too skinny because the client wants a softer, natural look. But if you definitely want a super divine twist out, just do your sections that you're going to twist and dip in hot water a lot smaller. So here is the back, and here's the sections that I've twisted, and I've just layered those twists on top of each other. So now I'm going to separate the twist that I did from the hot water dip. I just want to add to, when it comes to any service that you're doing on a client, on your family member, or whoever it is, always do a mini consultation. Always find out the state of their hair is in at the current moment and what they're looking for, what they're looking to achieve. And I always say pictures, 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 because they communicate better than anything. So a style you may have in mind and the finishing result you may have in your mind may not honestly be what they want to have at the end. So make sure you communicate and both get on the same page before you even go through with the style. Go ahead and check the client's hair, see if there's any breakage, see if there's any thinning spots, if the hair is constantly dry, if the hair, whatever the case may be, make sure you recognize those points and mention them if it's appropriate at the time, before proceeding with the style or whatever service that's going to be completed on the client's hair. So I had it on that side, but then I had looked at the side over there and it looked like it was a little bit thinner than this side. So I went ahead and flipped it over, and I'm going to shape it, all of that, at the end. Okay, so to complete the back, like I said, I took individual twists and just layered it on top, and it looks all natural and super blended. That's going to cover that like rather large space that we had from the top part, the swoop side bang, into the back French roll. To complete the side, I just gathered all the crochet hair and pinned it and made like almost like an elegant swoop side bang effect. And to complete the front, I just pushed the front back just a little bit to blend in with the hairline and finish with edge control to give an elegant look. Okay, thank you all for watching. Hope this video was inspiring and encouraging.